Today, we will discuss about the experiment Hartley oscillator. Hartley oscillator. So, the oscillators are used to produce the vibrations with some frequency, and they should satisfy the conditions like Barkhausen criteria that we have studied in the theory. So now here, by using the theoretical formula, we will calculate the frequency of oscillations, and we should match this theoretical frequency with the practical frequency. That is what the agenda of this experiment, Hartley oscillator. So now what is the aim of the experiment is to find practical frequency of a Hartley oscillator and compare it with theoretical frequency for L is equals to 4 millihenry and C is equals to 0.033 microfarad. 0.033 microfarads. So now what are the components required for this? Components required. DC supply voltage, inductors, two numbers of 4 millihenry, capacitors 100 microfarads, 10 microfarads of two numbers and 0.033 microfarad, right? So now we need resistors, one kilo ohm, 10 kilo ohm, 4.7 kilo ohm, and 100 kilo ohms. So these are the apparatus required for us. And apart from this, we require transistor BC 107 CRO to check the output waveform, and connecting wires to establish the connection between the components. Right? So these are the components required for our experiment. Right? Now we will draw the circuit diagram for this. So now we will take a CE amplifier. To this CE amplifier, we will attach the tank circuit or tuned circuit. So CE amplifier, let us start with VCC of 12 volts. And I am connecting a resistance RC. To this RC, I am connecting the transistor collector and emitter is grounded through RE. This RE is of 1 kilo ohm and RC is of 4.7 kilo ohms. Now, the biasing resistances R1 and R2 are connected in parallel. R1, R2. R1 is 100 kilo ohms and R2 is 10 kilo ohms. At the input side, I am connecting a capacitor of 10 microfarads. This is called as C1. Now to this, I will connect my tuned circuit, right? So now at the output, I am connecting a capacitor C2 of 10 microfarads. To this output, I am connecting the another end of my tuned circuit. 4 millihenry inductor L1 and L2. Now we can extend the ground to the tuned circuit also, because we can have a common ground. 4 millihenry. 4 millihenry. Now this is given to the capacitor of 0.033 microfarads, right? And this tuned circuit, another end is connected to the here to connect the CRO to check the output. So this is our circuit diagram of the Hartley oscillator. This is your BC107. So this is your Hartley oscillator circuit diagram. So after the circuit diagram, we have to write the procedure for this. Procedure. Connect the circuit diagram as shown in the figure. Right. Next one. Time period of the waveform is to be noted and frequency is to be calculated. Find the theoretical frequency from the formula F is equals to 1 by 2 pi under root L equivalent into C, right? So C is equals to 0.033 microfarads and L equivalent is equals to 4 millihenry plus 4 millihenry, which is equals to 8 millihenry. So by substituting these values, we will get this as 9.7 kilohertz, the theoretical frequency. Right? So now we have to compare this theoretical frequency with the practical frequency. So for that, have a tabular column. Like this. And serial number. L1 value, L2 value, C value, theoretical frequency and practical frequency. So you know, theory for L1 and L2 values 4 millihenry, 4 millihenry. Capacitance is 0.033 microfarads. So by substituting this, you get 9.7 kilohertz. Now we should get this practical frequency from the hardware part, right? So the model graph consider y-axis, consider x-axis. Always time period is taken on the x-axis and voltage on y-axis. So while doing the experiment, please note down the waveform in the CRO. There you have to check the voltage also, that is amplitude, number of divisions, and time per divisions you note down. And according to the given values, you can draw the graph like this. At least you have to draw 2 to 3 cycles, right? So this is our model graph. So from this time period, we will get the frequency. So from the graph, T is equals to 50 microseconds into 2 divisions. So T is equals to 100 microseconds. Frequency is equals to 1 by T, which is given by 1 by 100 microseconds. When you solve this, you will get. So when I compare my theoretical frequency with the practical frequency, theoretical frequency is 9.7 kilohertz, but my practical frequency is 10 kilohertz. Nearly it is matched. This is how we do the experiment Hartley oscillator. Now, as we discussed earlier, following a circuit diagram, we will construct the circuit diagram on this breadboard. This is called as a breadboard. On this breadboard, you have these horizontal lines and vertical lines. These upward horizontal lines can be used for power supply, and the down horizontal lines are used for ground. These vertical lines are used for the connection of the components. So now the interconnection between the components is established by the connecting wires. So now today we are discussing about the Hartley oscillator. The components required for the Hartley oscillator are DC supply voltage, inductors of 4 millihenry 2 numbers, capacitor of 0.033 microfarad of 1 number, and the resistors, one BC107 NPN transistor, cathode ray oscilloscope, and the connecting wires. Now this is called as cathode ray oscilloscope, CRO. This is called as dual supply regulated power supply, which will have 2 channels, channel 1 and channel 2. This is the power supply and this is the cathode ray oscilloscope. Now, to connect the cathode ray oscilloscope to the function generator or to the circuit, we will use the BNC cable. This is called as a cable. The red one is the positive and black one is the negative. Pass. Now, first we will give the power supply of 12 volts from this regulated power supply. So, in this power supply also you have positive, the red one, and negative is connected to the black one. So, now I will make the connections here. Into this you have to put a wire and make the firm connection, the tight connection. And into the negative also now I am making the connections. So now afterwards we will connect the diagram on the breadboard. This is called as a BC107 transistor, right? And 10K resistance, 1K resistance, all these are used. So now we will calculate these resistances by following the color code. Right now here consider a transistor. To this transistor you will have a small knob. From there we should take the terminals, right? Emitter, base, collector, EBC. The terminal which is at the side of this knob is called as emitter. The middle one is the base and third one is the collector. Now I am inversing my transistor and I have placed my transistor in this vertical lines, in 3 different vertical lines: emitter, base, collector, emitter, base, collector, right? So now I will make the connections. From the base we are connecting the 10 microfarads capacitor. This is the 10 microfarad capacitor. The long leg is positive and the short leg is negative. The positive is going to the base of the transistor. So base is at the middle. Therefore, in the same vertical line, I am connecting this capacitor. Now, the negative of the capacitor should go to the tank circuit. So, I am placing my capacitor at one terminal here on the breadboard like this. Now, I have to connect the amplifier, CE amplifier circuit with self bias. Therefore, I am considering my R1, R2 as 10K and 100K. 10K and 100K. This is the 10K resistor. This is the 10K resistor having red, black and orange color code. Or now we will construct the self bias circuit. 100K is connected from base to the base, which is in the middle, to the power supply. Directly I am giving to the power supply here, which is there. And now my 10K is given to the 10K is given from base to the ground. So directly I have connected to the ground like this. Now at the collector we have the RC resistance 4.7K that is connected from collector to the power supply. So directly from collector to the power supply I am piercing it, or I am placing it. Now we have RE of 1K that is coming from my emitter to the ground. So I have put in the vertical line of emitter and then directly I have grounded this one RE. Right? So this is my self bias amplifier circuit. Now to collect the output we have to connect a coupling capacitor at the RC. So now the long leg is a positive and the short leg is the negative. So now what I am doing? I am piercing, or I am placing my positive leg at the collector vertical line and I am putting the negative terminal at one end of the breadboard, because I have to collect the output from this negative terminal of the capacitor. Now to this amplifier circuit, I have to connect a tank circuit consisting of two inductors and one capacitor, since it is a Hartley oscillator. So now we will see the construction of the tank circuit. Output of the Hartley oscillator is taken from the CRO. Now CRO will have two edges. One is the red one is for positive and the black one is for the negative. Positive is connected at the capacitor, output coupling capacitor one end, and the negative is connected to the ground. Now we will get a sinusoidal wave on the CRO screen. Sinusoidal wave on the CRO screen. So now how to measure? We have to measure the time period for these oscillators. From there we will calculate the frequency. 1 by T is the frequency. Therefore now I will calculate the time period. How to calculate time period? Horizontally. If we see this graph, start from the origin, 1 unit, 2 units, into number of divisions is 50 microseconds. Therefore, the time period for this Hartley oscillator is 100 microseconds. From there, we calculate the frequency. F is equals to 1 by T. Therefore, 1 by 100 is equal, 1 by 100 microseconds is equals to 10 kilohertz. Now, after doing the theoretical calculations, we got the frequency as 9.7 kilohertz. So, now our practical value is matching with the theoretical value. Now, we will start drawing the graph, that is the sine wave of your Hartley oscillator. So now on y-axis we consider voltage and on x-axis we consider the time period. We have the values of the time period and we have the values of voltage from the CRO which we have collected. So now here we will draw the y-axis. Right? So now in the same manner, now we will draw the x-axis. So now on x-axis, time period T we have. On y-axis we have voltage V. Now we have to mark the divisions. So now when we notice the voltage, we have 2.2 volts. So for that I will set the scale. This is 0, 1, 2 and 3. This is enough because our maximum voltage is 2.2. So -1, -2, -3. So you have taken voltage on y-axis and time period on x-axis. This is the graph for Hartley oscillator. So now I have to take the units on the x-axis. So my time period is 2 into 50 microseconds, that is 100. So now till here I'll consider it as 50, 100, 200, 300, 400, like this. So now I will start drawing the graph. 2.2 means here. 1 unit is 0.2, one subdivision. So therefore, now I will start drawing the graph. This is half cycle. and this is the 2.2 what we have here, and this is another half cycle. This is one full cycle. In such manner, you have to draw the number of cycles for this wave, right? At least 2 cycles you have to maintain. Now, on x-axis, 1 unit is equals to 1 volt. On y-axis, y-axis, 1 unit is equals to 50 microseconds. Right? So this is how we draw the graph for oscillators. Right? Understood? So now